During the past 40 years, the textile, garment and footwear industry has been transformed by the process known as globalization.
Because of the globalization, high-cost countries have moved to the low-cost countries. They relocated their manufacturing facilities. They outsource there. So ready-made garment industries in this part of the world, in South Asia and Southeast Asia, has really increased very rapidly.
But if jobs have been created, this has not brought prosperity to the workers. In order to attract investment, recipient countries competed to keep wages as low as possible. Special export processing zones were set up, where national laws on employment and taxation need not apply.
Globalization has created some opportunities also. A lot of women workers are going to get jobs, but the basic reality is this: the real salary of the workers are coming down. So though they have the jobs, apparently it seems, but the salary they are getting, that is not even crossing the poverty level.
Industrialized countries saw outsourcing as a threat to their own industries, and in 1974, the multi-fiber arrangement was introduced, which set quotas for the major exporting countries. Designed as a protectionist measure, the MFA has had some unexpected consequences.
The impact of the multi-fiber arrangement was to spread the industry, in a sense, across the world, because as countries reached their quota targets, those who were sourcing garments had to search for new centres of production. And that's how we saw the industry spread like wildfire across Asia, into Central America, into some of the countries in Africa.
In 1995, the multi-fiber arrangement began to be phased out over a 10-year period. Meanwhile, China was building a dominant position as the world's major manufacturer and exporter of garments.
China was also the only country that really prepared for trade liberalization in the textile and clothing sector. And in the 3 years up to 2005, investment, I think, totaled something like $18 billion. And China had actually the capacity to supply about 85% of the world's needs in textiles and clothing.
For a while, China actually doubled its exports to the major markets of the European Union and the United States before new, temporary restrictions were introduced. But while some countries, especially in Africa, have lost a lot of their trade, other apparently vulnerable countries have survived and even flourished since the ending of the MFA.
There was a time when Bangladesh and Chinese labor cost almost same, or maybe Chinese labor cost was slightly lower. But because of this globalization and income rise, employment opportunities rising, the labor cost in China is much higher than what is in Bangladesh now.
Development in China and industrial expansion was very rapid. As a result of labor shortages, wages have increased significantly. And what we're beginning to see now, I think, is a relocation, at least to parts of the industry, from China to cheaper nations.
Today, the whole sector faces a new threat from the growing world recession.
The textile, clothing and footwear sector always is that part of consumption that suffers most. I think there is some evidence that the retail sector is beginning to feel the effect. That tends to feed into the manufacturing process sometime later.
Already significant job losses have taken place in India and Cambodia. Others will surely follow.
It will be a source of disaster if the industry collapses. Most of the countries in the RMG sectors, the workers are women, and most of them have migrated from the rural areas. So if they lose the job, if the industry collapses, not only the economic crisis will have the human crisis, and it will affect the social equilibrium of the society.